Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today. There's a caravan of failure marching towards America. And this caravan of failure is a group of thousands of migrants who are coming from Honduras, Central America, and Mexico, marching towards the United States. Now, the reason why I call this the caravan of failure is because most of these people come from failed nations, and these people who come from these failed nations, what they want to do is come to America and receive benefits from the welfare state of the United States. Now, the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing and expecting a different result. And the members of the caravan of failure just don't see how insane it is to leave a failed socialist state like ones like Venezuela and Honduras, and then march all the way towards the United States, hoping to get the exact same types of resources and benefits that they got in their socialist countries. That's what's so completely insane about this caravan of failure, is that you're going to leave one country with the same mindset that you had that destroyed that country, and then come to another country hoping to apply the exact same approaches and then get a different result. That, to me, is the textbook definition of insanity. Most of these people came from failed socialist states and states with large welfare populations, and they want to come to America hoping to reap another bounty of resources after they've drained all of their resources out of their own countries. Again, that's completely crazy, because it just shows that no one in this caravan of failure has learned to do something different. And the reason why they don't want to do anything different is because many of these people are afraid to actually put their hands to the ground and actually work. Because what they should be doing, instead of marching towards America, is marching towards their country's leaders and holding the leaders of their countries accountable. But no one wants to make that type of sacrifice, because that type of sacrifice means that they would actually have to go to war, and going to war means the loss of lives, and it means a lot of bloodshed. And these people, because they're too scared to go and fight a war to take their country back from the socialists and their failed socialist ideas, would rather start marching towards America. And again, I find it quite funny that they're going to have this big caravan to march towards America, and they won't go to settle in a place like Mexico. And the reason why they don't want to settle in Mexico, I believe, is because Mexico has no welfare state. And because Mexico has no welfare state, and you have to actually live on what you earn in Mexico, that's why they want to walk through Mexico towards the United States. And this is what I have to say regarding this whole caravan of failure. The caravan of failure can stay in South America, because the caravan of failure, all it's going to do is bring a group of people here who all they know how to do is fail, because they're going to try to use the exact same approaches to life that did not work in their country in this country, and all that's going to do is lead to the breeding of a second and third generation of single mothers and other people who live to be a part of the welfare state and continue to reap benefits for benefits that they did not earn on a system that is already overtaxed. Because right now here in America, we have a serious problem with our own homeless population. Many in cities like San Francisco right now, and even in New York, are defecating in the streets because they can't find a home or economic resources to support them, because our welfare state isn't making a decent job of helping to elevate many of our veterans who fought in wars, and instead of helping those men get back on their feet, we've abandoned them, and that's what's leading to men defecating in the street. But these people want to come here and reap those government benefits, and many on the far left, what they want to do is bring these people in, have them become registered voters, and continue voting for a welfare state that is growing bigger and bigger, but it cannot be paid for because we are losing workers, because again, only 7% of men are actively looking for work, and many of the men left the workforce with the Great Recession of 2008. So we're looking at a situation where our economic system is on the brink of heading towards the same type of collapse that destroyed Venezuela and many of those other South American countries. And bringing in more people from the caravan of failure is only going to accelerate that collapse, because these types of people, again, do not have the mindset to understand that your problem isn't leaving your country to go to another country for more government benefits. Your solution is confronting the leaders in your country who have created these failed economic approaches, holding those people accountable, and then creating a new government that will allow for the reallocation and redistribution of resources, and allow for an economic platform that will allow businesses to create trade and commerce. But because many with this socialist and communist mindset don't want to think about changing their economic system, they think they can just go to somebody else's country to get more resources from an already strained welfare state. Because right now, our economic system here in America, the Social Security system, is just about taxed out because we have less workers putting money in, and as more and more older people are receiving benefits, more disabled people are receiving benefits, and we have more and more welfare recipients coming in from foreign countries. And again, this is overtaxing the system. So all it does, again, is create this group of dependent people, and dependent people, again, do not pay taxes. Because in order to have a successful and efficient economic system, you need to have more people paying taxes in than people who are taking out of the system. And the caravan of failure, all they're going to do, like they did in Europe, is take taxes out of the system without contributing anything. And even worse, many are going to come in with an entitlement mindset, believing that they are owed something in a country they never worked in or earned anything. And that's what's really dysfunctional about the caravan of failure, is that many of these people believe they are owed a life in America where they can get free food stamps, free housing, and free health care, even though they never worked a day in this country, and they never made an effort to pay for anything in this country. They want the benefits of being a U.S. citizen without being U.S. citizens. And that's something that's a real slap in the face to especially black people, because it's black folks who they're going to say are the ones who are the ones taking the resources, when it's people in the caravan of failure who would be the ones who take more resources than anything, And this is why I have to really agree with Donald Trump on one thing, and it's that we have to stop this caravan of failure because these are not people we want to be brought into America because, again, they don't make contributions to America. Now, the immigrants who came through Ellis Island, these were immigrants that America desperately needed because these were people who came in thinking about what they could bring to America, not what they can take from America. And because those immigrants came in wanting to work, one, and two, coming in with trade skills and skills, they contributed towards building America's middle class, excuse me, building businesses in America, and creating opportunities for not only themselves, but for their own countrymen by being here and having businesses and skill sets because those people wanted to build something. These people in the caravan of failure, they don't want to build anything. All they want to do is continue sucking resources out of somebody else's country now that they've sucked all the resources out of their own country. So they do not contribute to the country. All they do is bring down the quality of life for everyone. And the way I see it, what your President Trump needs to do and what the Congress needs to do is we need to just end the welfare state here in America. Because if we end the welfare state here in America, what will happen is these people in these caravans of failure won't have any incentive to try to come here. And if we cut the funding to these countries, maybe these countries will start thinking about building themselves up instead of looking to be dependent on others. As someone who grew up on welfare, I can honestly tell you that the welfare state is a complete failure because all it does is foster a dependent mindset in people. It makes people believe they are entitled to resources that they did not earn, and it makes people believe that resources are infinite and that all they have to do if something gets messed up is wait for the check to come and they can go buy another. And that attitude, what that does is it makes people not see a value in anything. When someone has to work for something, they learn to value things, they learn to appreciate what they have, and they learn that there's a sacrifice for everything out there. And people in the caravan of failure, they don't understand this. And this is the culture they're going to teach to their children because that culture is going to be enabled in them by Americans giving them more of the same that they got in their own country. And that's why I say it's the definition of insanity to do the exact same thing and expect a different result because you have people who are coming from failed socialist states trying to come to America hoping to get on another welfare state and then expecting these people to change. And when you give people more welfare, all it does is not give them to motivation to go out here to look for work or try to start a business or make any sort of effort at entrepreneurship. Instead, they develop a dependency on the state, and that codependency gives them a victim mindset, and that victim mindset is the core reason why these people never grow, and that inability to grow leads to the frustration, and it's that frustration about not being able to grow and actualize your potential that is what leads to many of these people going out here to commit crime, and that's what leads to many of them going all over the places, and any place that they go, the crime rate goes up because none of these people, again, have an incentive to go out here to do better because as long as they're getting a few crumbs from the state will continue to give them whatever they want, and then they have no ability to move past a certain point because what happens is in ghettos like the South Bronx, these people stagnate, and the stagnation, again, is the core reason for most of the crime because these people can't go anywhere. All they do is turn inward, and then they start attacking people and terrorizing people because their lives are going nowhere. And that's why they just need to stay in their country, make those sacrifices, and confront the people in their countries rather than bring a caravan of failure to America, because we've already got enough problems in America as it is. We already have a growing and increasing homeless population, and it's just wrong that we don't take care of our American homeless people like many of the veterans who made sacrifices to fight wars like Afghanistan, Iraq, and go out here and even fight wars like Desert Storm. It's wrong that we're not giving those men who made those sacrifices priorities, because those Americans should come first, and those Americans, they are the ones who should be getting their needs met because they served their country. And we did a disservice to many of those soldiers by not making sure that they got the support that they needed after fighting those wars to protect our freedom. That's one of the things that really irks me about all of this caravan and all this people talking about supporting this caravan, is we're not looking at all the people here in America who should have been put at the front of the line. We always want to take care of other people's problems, but we don't want to take care of our own. And we really need to start focusing on taking care of our own, because it's our soldiers who fought and died in those wars and fought and sacrificed in those wars, and it's those soldiers that deserve to be treated with the respect that they deserve. And many of our homeless people in America, again, they deserve to be put priority on the list. People who've lost their homes due to fires or due to domestic violence. Those people, again, they need to be made priority, and we need to be making efforts to reinvest in those people so that they can invest in us and they can contribute towards America. Because if we have those people being put first, then we can have them return to becoming taxpayers and paying into the system instead of taking out of the system and suffering the way they are. Because we're letting Americans fall through the cracks to take care of other people, and that's not right at all. Well, we need to start taking care of Americans first, because if we take care of Americans first, they can take care of America. And if we take care of Americans, we can have America become a success instead of a place that enables caravans of failure. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to try my new book, The Man Crisis, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com in the description box. There you can find a in-edition paperback and Kindle edition of The Man Crisis. And if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read The Man Crisis for free. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.